In my opinion, this is the single most significant computer magazine ever published. Now, why do I say that? It's the Byte issue from August 1981. The reason I say that, it's the smalltalk issue. Now, you're thinking, well, why is smalltalk so, it's not a big programming language. What's so big about it? It defined the way that we use computers today. Before smalltalk, the world of computing was totally different. Now, to give you an example, I actually couldn't make head or tail of half of the articles in this magazine. Not just the fact that they were talking about object orientation, which was an unfamiliar idea at the time, but the whole environment. I mean, look at this is what people were using. This is the sort of computer people were using back in those days. Green text on a black background. Certainly no mouse or it was just a different world. Right, let me explain why this was so big. Well, there are a load of features here introducing the smalltalk system, environment, explaining object orientation, and so on. The first thing you need to get your head around is that they even had to explain what a mouse was. Nobody knew at that time. I'd never seen a mouse. It says here, it's got a definition, it's got a picture, and it says a typical smalltalk system showing the mouse, which is a device that allows you to move an on-screen cursor and select certain options. I had no idea what that meant. I'd never seen a mouse. As far as I was aware, all computers only ever used a keyboard. Let's have a look what else we've got in here. Interestingly, the languages, the programming languages that I see as I flick through this magazine that mostly are advertised or discussed are Fortran, Basic, and Pascal. Quite a lot of Pascal. To show you how different the world was then. Those were the languages. But, look at this. Look at this advert. This is quite interesting too. There's some jumped up little company called Microsoft. And what are they advertising? Turn your Apple, an Apple II, into the world's most versatile personal computer. Microsoft is plugging products for Apple. The soft card solution turns your Apple into two computers, a Z80 and a 6502, by adding a Z80 microprocessor and CPM to your Apple. It goes on and on about this. But the other thing that Microsoft is plugging here is their version of the BASIC language. BASIC included. A powerful tool, BASIC 80, is included. And it's a BASIC you can compile with Microsoft's BASIC compiler. Well, that's convinced me. I mean, given the choice between Microsoft BASIC and Smalltalk, they were worlds apart. I mean, Smalltalk was just so far ahead of the game. It's almost impossible to convey that now. Incidentally, if you want to know more about Smalltalk and the influence it's had on programming languages in particular, I have a separate series here on YouTube. The link is down below, and you can follow that once you've watched this, and that will explain more about the influence of the ideas of Smalltalk on the world of programming. I mean, there are a lot of the things that predicted the future: object orientation, graphic environments, overlapping windows, pop-up menus, all the stuff we take for granted. This was the first time I'd ever come across that. Now, one of the articles in here talks about modeless editing. Don't mode me in. He's even got, I don't know if you can see this, a t-shirt with "Don't mode me in" written on it. And this is by Larry Tesler from Apple Computer Inc. And he says, as I'm writing this article, I'm wearing a t-shirt given to me by a friend. Emblazoned across the chest is the loud plea, "Don't mode me in." Now, he's objecting to all these different modes that you had to enter when you were using computer software in those days. An insert mode, a replace mode, delete mode, search mode, etc., etc. To a certain extent, I mean, they were saying that Smalltalk really got around a lot of those problems by using the mouse. You just select and you then insert when you want to go into insert mode, and you select something, and delete text when you want to put into delete mode, and so on. So you're getting rid of modes, but to be honest, we're still trapped in a moded world. So I mean, his hope that he was not going to be moded in, I think, has not come to fruition. Then there's the Smalltalk graphics kernel. Now look, can you see this picture here? Graphics on screen. Never seen any such thing. So there are quite a lot of pictures in here of the Smalltalk environment. When I saw that, all these windows and pointers and bitmap text and menus dropping down and popping up. To be honest, I thought they were illustrations. I thought a lot of these things that you see here had been designed as an illustration for the magazine article. I didn't really understand that people were seeing all this sort of stuff on screen. You know, there are even explanations of what bitmaps are, what a bitmap font is, what a menu is. You have to, you know, explaining how you can represent graphics using pixels. These were just unfamiliar ideas. And for that reason, while Smalltalk, the language, has not become the mainstream language that most people are using today, the ideas here are just so profound. They've just completely changed the way generations of programmers expect to work. Just the idea of an environment, a graphics environment, windows, menus, a mouse clicking things to get things to happen. Never mind object orientation. That was, you know, something that was also obviously described here, but the whole world of computing changed, and this magazine was the first inclination I ever had that something big was about to happen. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, I'll have more about programming, about the history of computers, so be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you again with something else soon.